You damn Skippy, it starts right now. Here we are, man. Rock Assault Radio, the Redneck Metal Mafia. We are here. It's Tuesday night, man, and we're coming to invade. The Redneck Metal Mafia comes here to do two things: kick a little ass and kick a little ass. I am the host with the most, Big Will, and I am made possible by Dirtbag Clothing, AdamandEve.com, Platinum PDR, Revolution Auto Sales, Performance Decals, Distant Lands Coffee,
and your mom.
And my mom.
And your mom.
And my mom.
Right.
Metal Mike, what the hell is going on your side of the table, man?
Man, I thought I'd come and kick it and, like hang out and talk to, Tracy Guns. And,
Phil, man. Phil's calling in. Yeah, dude. LA Guns is calling in tonight, man. So
I really didn't get a chance to look it up, but how many years has this band been around?
A long goddamn time.
We're talking like the mid-'80s, right?
Listen, we're not going to get into the hubbub Wikipedia shit. We're going to get into their mind, and I'm going to ask them three simple questions. Tell me about the early years, tell me about the reformation, and tell me about this upcoming tour they got.
Hell yeah.
That's it, man, because that's going to cover everything.
Right on. Man, it's amazing that, I think it's cool that bands are still sticking in there like that, I remember seeing LA Guns on Headbangers Ball, and that tells you how long that dates that,
Bro, I just got to say, I got to stop real quick and say something, because my mind is still blown. Is anybody sticking around that just got done listening to our newest show, man, River Bottom Radio?
I don't know.
Jesus, God, they're good.
Yeah.
Dude, they play some shit. I love it, man. Great fit. We had a little bit of technical difficulties, man, through a couple of the tracks, but I put it out there, man. I own that.
I've seen the posts. I know the guy, the Dirty Mike, right?
Yeah, man. The cancer thing going on. They got the wristbands for sale. We've been pushing that. We threw in 2 T-shirts to give away, man. They got some drum heads autographed by Texas Hippie Coalition, and they're gonna, whoever wins is gonna get to
Texas Hippie Coalition.
Yeah,
That's
man.
Cool,
whoever wins is going to be able to take over their show, man.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of like a grand prize deal.
You
know what though? Here's the thing. I want to throw something else into this hat.
Okay.
And let's talk about this now, because I'm sure there's still people listening that were listening to that, and maybe even Kristen in the crew. How about this, Metal Mike?
What's that?
How about we give away something special to put our mark on helping them?
What are you giving me away to?
Not you.
Oh.
Not you. Well, kind of, sort of. You. And not really you, but kind of, sort of.
I'm scared now.
How about whoever wins the takeover of their show, right? Mm-hmm. As a consolation grand prize for, hey, thanks for taking the time to donate and to share, man, and to come together and help a brother. How about we let that person join us on a Friday Night Live?
That sounds pretty cool.
As a second co-host.
That sounds pretty cool.
How about that?
I like that.
Let's get in touch with River Bottom Radio and see if we can throw that out there too, because I think it's a good thing, man. I mean, I'm all about helping people, man.
Where's
and that's
that
what
out
we do
of now?
What?
Where at River Bottom Radio? Where are they
all over the country.
No, I meant like where are they based out of?
All over the country.
Oh, okay.
They're in 2 separate parts of the country.
Okay.
Sounds like they're omnipresent. They're
right?
an omnipresent radio force.
Basically, one of them's in Pennsylvania, the other one's in Oklahoma. I mean, it's and they come together and they got great chemistry and they do a great show. And
yeah.
God.
Well, I mean, like I said, I've seen the posts, and I think that the charity that they're supporting is definitely a charity I support. With all the family members I've lost to cancer. So
it's a good thing to get involved with, man. We got a little bit of time, about 6 minutes, dude. And LA Guns is calling in. Let's throw a little rock and roll out there and get you started. How about this? You asked for Rat.
Yes, sir.
We got LA Guns tonight. How about we start the show with a track that features both of them?
All right.
Have you ever heard this?
I don't think I have.
It's that Rat and LA Guns did a cover together.
Wow.
Of AC/DC's Whole Lotta Rosie.
Whole Lotta, one of my favorite songs.
Yeah. So I think it's a great way to start the show. What do you say?
All right. It's a whole lot of woman.
Let's damn rock. Here we go.
Whole lot of Rosie. Cut this off if you want another one, man. Maybe. I love candy.
Amarillo, and the Panhandle, Texas Panhandle. And then from there, we're going to go up to Nebraska. No, Colorado. We got a Denver show. Great time to do it, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, you get a little break in the snow next week, and then over the next couple weeks, it's going to be pretty nasty out there. So you guys definitely, man, be safe.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, and right now there was a pretty bad storm, and that's a good thing, because that means that hopefully when we're there in the next week or so, it won't be so bad. But it is what it is, and we won't let a bit of rain stop us from doing what we have to do.
Absolutely not. And then you guys are coming to Kansas, right? The Aftershock up in Kansas City.
Yeah, that's right. I can't remember the last time we played in Kansas. Have we done it? Have me and Tracy done the reunion show there yet?
No.
No, I didn't think so.
No.
No.
And
no,
so
I
it's gonna be awesome, dude. I can't wait for the show. Actually,
You'd remember us if you played a show here lately.
yeah, you know how Kansas is, man. We're just like fiends for live music here.
Yeah, I've had some good shows there. Wasn't there a place called Hurricanes?
Yes, back in the day.
Wow.
Some venue. It
That
was
was a while back.
That was down in Westport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played that place a lot.
Yeah, you guys came around a lot, man, and it was just a lot of fun, back in the day when everybody was coming around, and then it kind of everybody took a hiatus for a while, and music changed, and this, that, and everything. What I really want to do is I'm going to ask you a series of 3 questions. The first one's going to be, tell me about the early days of LA Guns. Tell me about the reformation of LA Guns, and tell me about this new tour coming up and what you expect for the future of LA Guns through this tour.
Yeah, sure. That sounds good.
Nice and easy, man. It's a rock and roll party. Phil Lewis is in the house with LA Guns, man. It's a party. Hold on one second, man. We're going live, brother.
Okay.
So how in the hell is everybody doing out there, man? We got the rock block going on. We actually started the show out with Rat and LA Guns doing a cover of Whole Lotta Rosie together,
really cool, man.
which really blew up the email box. I don't think a lot of people have actually heard that cover per se.
Never heard that.
And I've had like 65 emails on it saying, dude, they just kicked ass on that cover. And so we've been promoting it. We've been talking about it. We've been sending out the invites, man. It's goddamn time, Metal Mike. It's time that the Rock Assault Radio 106.6 The Blast and the Redneck Mafia welcome our brother. Phil from LA Guns is on the line, man. What's going on, dude?
Welcome to the show.
Big Will, how are you doing, man? How are you?
I'm fabulous, brother. I can't wait for you guys to bring your asses in the party
That's
is
great.
the LA Guns to the Midwest, brother.
You sound great tonight. You're on fire, brother.
Oh, I try, man. I try. I blame it on the coffee, Phil. You know how it is. You get to a certain age where it's no longer Jägermeister, it's coffee.
No, I'll take that any day. That's fine. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I don't think that we've actually had the pleasure of playing Kansas since Tracy and I have done this reunion. So it'll be a special night.
It's going to be, yes. And it's going to be special all around this entire tour, man, because you think about the history with the LA Guns, and you think about, and we've talked about this when we found out that we were going to have you guys on. We really started promoting it, man, live and talking about it. You think about LA Guns and what they represented, in the 80s and in the 90s and even still now to the people that listened, through the hiatus and the different LA Gunses and all this, that, and the other stuff. And you think about the influence that the LA Guns had on the music scene in general, as far as like the I won't say the underground, but you guys were one of the core driving bands that kept people interested in the genre, man. So, Phil, if you don't mind, man, tell me a little bit about the early days of LA Guns. Let's start at the beginning.
Well, the band was formed in '85. 2 years prior to me joining. They didn't do it very much apart from play local shows. I think they put out an EP, but they did have a name. They were definitely one of the bands on the Strip that people were starting to take notice of. And things didn't work out with the singer that they had at the time. The band was managed by an English bloke called Alan Jones, who, as you can tell, I'm quite English myself, knew me in London. And I'd been in a band called Girl in 1980, and then I was in another band called Torme with Bernie Torme, who was the first replacement for Randy Rhoads. After Randy passed away, Ozzy stood in. Bernie stood in for Ozzy, and he played guitar with Ian Gillan. He was Ian Gillan's riding partner on most of his solo stuff. So I'd gotten as far as I could go in a big fish in a little pond, in London, and I really needed to step up my game a bit. And I got an offer. I got a call from Alan telling me about this band that were blowing up the Strip, and Tracy, and how exciting it was, and would I be interested in coming out? And I said, how soon do you need me? He goes, well, whenever you want. I said, well, how about tomorrow?
Right.
So, I didn't have much. I had a couple of $100, a hairdryer, a couple of pairs of jeans. And, I came out. I didn't know how long I was going to stay. I thought, well, maybe a couple of weeks, see how it goes. It could be fun. And I met the guys the night before. Alan took us out to dinner, and we all got on great. And the next day was the first rehearsal. And, Nicky was setting up his drums, and, Tracy's tuning his guitar. And, they're just setting up, and not much for a singer to do. So I just went over to my mic and, made sure it was on. Check, 1, 2. Just like that. And Tracy looked up from his guitar and goes, yeah, that's it. You'll do. You got the gig.
You're hired.
that was my audition. And it was great. I mean, it was like I died and gone to heaven. It was just dreary, cold, rainy London, not much happening, no music scene. And then bang, all of a sudden to be dropped off in Hollywood at that time, palm trees and bikinis and stiletto heels, and you're just absolutely fantastic. It was a dream. It really was a dream. I was pinching myself at times. And yeah, it was really the Cat House scene, and
I was actually going to ask you about the Cat House, because I grew up hearing stories about it, and I kind of watched the scene grow on MTV through the Cat House. And
it's hard to explain. It was like Caligula.
All right, that's a very good description. I get it.
It was Sodom and Gomorrah, believe me.
That's what I heard.
So you never seen anything like it. Studio 54 didn't have nothing on the Cat House.
That's what I've heard.
And I've heard that too, and so it's kind of cool.
Didn't Ricky Rackman own that place at one time?
Yeah, Ricky and Tammy. It was their venture
from Faster Pussycat.
It wasn't a Tammy from Faster Pussycat.
Okay.
It wasn't a static building. It was a club that moved from various venues.
Okay.
So you get transplanted from London to the States, and you join this band that is already getting a name for themselves up and down the Strip, and they're just just animals.
Just on the cusp. They didn't have a record deal at the time, so I was in the band for about 6 months, and we did some demos, and Bob Scoro from Polygram signed us and changed our lives forever.
And then the madness that is known as LA Guns today was born.
And what a way for me, for a kid from London to see the States. We were on a tour bus, an old Silver Eagle. We've got the Van Halen blasting on the cassette. No internet, no cell phones, no nothing. It was just a band, just us. And we were on the road for 2 years.
And that's a long time. Either you grow to love each other forever, or you grow to hate each other in that amount of time.
Yeah. I mean, it was the greatest adventure. I mean, it was magic. I mean, golden days for me. it was so much fun.
But you guys, I mean, you guys played some really, 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 really big shows, man, and went out and did it. And then so then it comes time for the band to kind of, you know, I don't want to say disband, but kind of just go separate ways. Everybody kind of goes their separate ways. And I don't want to harp on that a lot because I want to glorify.
You know what? No, I'll tell you something. I'll tell you, Will. You know, when you see these Beatles interviews from the 60s and the Stones interviews, and you know, some of the Jimmy Page stuff, they ask them, you know, how they see their lives in 4 or 5 years. And they're like, oh, I don't know. I might be a chemist. I might work at the library. And you know, I never thought, like I told you, you know, when I first came out to LA, I thought maybe I'd stay out for a couple of weeks. I never expected it to do so well and to last so long. So when it did finally go tits up, I mean, I was disappointed, but I was just kind of shocked that it lasted as long as it did.
Huh.
And
So
that's
just
a staple.
my attitude.
It's a staple for
you know,
what you guys represent as far as the music industry in that time, though.
It got cheesy, though, didn't it? You got to admit, it got real. To the scene got cheesy.
I have to agree with you. It really did.
It needed a change. We were never cheese. We were never that. You know, we weren't the big smiles. We weren't a blonde band. The antithesis of that.
No, you guys had you guys were the bad boys,
bikers,
man. Yeah, you guys were
Yeah,
the
I
rough
know,
boys.
but we came out in that time. So we're lumped in with that genre. You see how it goes?
Right,
yeah, I don't believe in the whole genre thing. I believe like in being able,
I know.
You know, I mean, to me, it's kind of music racism.
Yeah.
So
you know, whatever. You know,
so
people listening to music.
Yeah, no shit. So let's talk about the reformation of LA Guns and how that all kind of came about. If you can talk about it, you know, at what point did you and Tracy sit down and say, "Man, let's do this again"?
Well, okay. I'll go back a bit. Tracy and I fell out in around 2003, and it's so long ago, and it's so unimportant. I don't know what it was about, and I don't really care. But we spent almost 15 years apart from each other. We didn't see each other at all. We didn't even run into each other. We never in the same venue. We never anything. It was just like we went completely separate ways. And of course, it was a terrible time when he had his version. We had two versions of the same band out touring at the same time. He's definitely the lowest point of LA Guns' history. Just embarrassing, just absolutely. But you know, we're working musicians. That's how we make our money. It's what we do. And you know, we were just at war, and it was just something we just had to deal with. So it was a very, very long time, and I never thought that I would, you know, even run into him, let alone play it in a band with him again. And then I got a call just around this time, 2014, from Jason Green, a local promoter in Vegas, who was doing Toys for Tots for a Christmas show, and he told me that Tracy had agreed to do it with his band. And would I be interested in getting up and surprise and, you know, raising some money for the event and doing a couple of songs? So, you know, I could see no reason why I shouldn't do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's all right, okay. And it was weird, believe me. We played at Vamped, and we didn't rehearse, and we didn't even sound check. You know, all we did was like Over the Edge and Sex Action, Never Enough, stuff that we can both do in our sleep. So I just showed up, you know, like 10, 15 minutes before we were supposed to go on. And Tracy's sitting in the dressing room by himself. And he was just like drinking a glass of milk. And it wasn't milk, it was a White Russian, actually. But it looked like, he looked like 9 years old. He looked like a kid. It was so weird. And to think that, you know, this guy had been my nemesis. I'd been like, feuding, the person it just wind me up the most, and there he was in the corner drinking a glass of milk. So I sit down, and how you doing? All right, okay, yeah. And, and we didn't really say, we didn't peel the onion or anything like, well, it's been a while. We just got up and we played our couple of songs, and it went well. People were blown away, and it felt good, I got to say. Playing with him is, we have that chemistry. We've got that Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry vibe. We have that. It's a dichotomy. It doesn't, just because we're partners and brothers doesn't mean we always get along.
Right.
We, you know what I mean? It's real, and so it felt good. It felt like my brother, and like for all the fighting and all the feuding and everything, I have to say it. It's like, if it wasn't for Tracy, I wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this conversation. So I have to remind myself of that a lot. And it just struck me as like, we haven't communicated, done nothing, and in over 15 years. And I felt that wasn't good for the fans. That was kind of an insult to the fans. That was something that, it was like vain of us, because we should be working, we should be making music, and that's what expected. And so, yeah, we started playing each other ideas and songs, and before we knew it, we were making The Missing Piece.
And which is a stellar record, by the way.
Thank you very much. You wait till you hear the new one.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the show, man. And I definitely want to meet up with you guys and shake your hand. And,
of course.
Thank you guys for coming on and doing it.
I'm glad you like The Missing Piece. You didn't hear me say you're going to love the new one.
Oh yeah, I heard it, and I can't wait.
We just finished it. And isn't it typical that we're the only band that not only do we put out a record in 2017, we got to put one out next year too. It's just like no other band does that.
If you're gonna do it big, man, and that's what LA Guns always represented to me. I
feel like we're making up for lost time.
But you're doing it well. That's the thing. It's not rushed. It's not it's not forced. It's there and it's real. Like you said, it's real.
Oh, very real. Definitely very, very real.
I absolutely love it.
And it's more. It's a bit more sophisticated, but it's still got the vibe. It's still got the LA Guns vibe, and it's what I'm real proud of it. Of course, Speed and The Flood of the Rain. There's some really, really amazing moments on that record.
Can't wait to hear it.
Speed's a great song. It to me, Speed.
Thank you.
Speed to me, when I heard it, I was watching the video and I was listening to the music and I was like, dude, this is still LA Guns. Like this is where they picked up right where they left off. Nothing has changed.
Yeah, I know.
That's
that's
not easy to achieve either.
No, but that's a statement of how real these guys really are, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was a great way to get out the gate, huh? It was a perfect first single.
It was absolutely stellar. Like I said, man, I love that track, and I can't wait to hear the full length, man, and really get behind that, because I support the shit out of the LA Guns at this station.
Man, they got the coolest band logo ever, man. It's like the two guns,
It's awesome. So then it comes out, man. So you put out a record last year. You're putting out one next year. You have to go on tour, right? And so tell me about this upcoming tour you guys got going on, man. Where's it taking you?
Well, I mean, to be honest, we're just tying things up now. We've got these shows just before Christmas, and then we got 2 before New Year's, and then we're going to be down for a while. And the record's coming out in March, so we've been everywhere. We've been to Australia, we've been to Japan, we've been in Europe, we've been everywhere but Kansas. So we couldn't go down before coming back playing.
Right.
It's like we ended up right where we started.
That's coming full circle right there.
Right there, you see. Now, yeah, our job is done. Mission accomplished.
So, man, I think what's really cool is that, and let's talk about this for a minute, because a lot of the bands that were big and touring and really just working you guys' ass off, man, for the corporate conglomerate back in the 80s and the 90s, man, are all coming around and they're doing the tours. We had Mark on the air with us, man, from the Bullet Boys a few weeks back. We had Steve Lynch on a couple weeks back as well from Autograph. Right. And you know, all of these tours that are coming out, man, are just, it's amazing, dude, because like to me, you guys, man, represent when music was great, when there was a buzz about going and buying a concert ticket, man, and knowing that you were going to smoke some bunk pot and look at big titties the entire show. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I addressed that in the set too.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, man, boobies are boobies. I want to look at all of them.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's going to be
I got the best view in the house.
You do, man.
Right
on. You do. When you finally retire from music, dude, you should really write a book.
Oh, I know. I've been meaning to. I mean, I've got like drafts and sketches and ideas, but I'm so busy, Tracy keeps me busy making these records, and it's just like, there's no time.
Does Tracy ever slow down, man? Because that dude is a workhorse, man.
No, he doesn't. In fact, he's already started. He wants to do a solo record. He wants to do like a 3-piece band, and just he can't help himself. He's just constantly.
So let me ask you, Phil, on a personal level, when you first joined, with LA Guns, and then of course, through the progression and the growth of the band and everything else, how did playing with a musician of Tracy's caliber, man, how did that, it forces you to pick up your game, because the creativity that flows out of that man is an untapped well of gold, man.
Yeah, well, that's true. And, he makes me work harder than any other guitarist I've ever, any other musical partner, because I've really, as you say, you got to step it up. I won't play. I mean, I'll play acoustic guitar with him, but I would never play rhythm guitar on stage. Fuck that.
Why? Why would you even try?
Because he's so good and so musical, and it's just like he brings it out, and he's really good at putting bands together. He always finds the very best musicians. Johnny Martin on bass, he's a phenomenal musician. Shane Fitzgibbon, our drummer, young guy, he's in his early 20s, just brilliant, incredible drummer. Nice guys, easy guys to tour with. And now we have Ace Von Johnson playing rhythm guitar. Ace from Faster Pussycat?
Right.
So he's helping us out, and it sounds really pretty big, pretty tight.
It's gonna be an exciting show, and to anybody, man, that's wondering,
it's a monster.
You can go and check out LA Guns website, man. The list of the tour dates are there. They're coming to a city near you, man, especially in the Midwest Belt. I suggest, if there's one suggestion that I have for you, treat yourself to an LA Guns show for Christmas.
Yeah.
And just do it.
Yeah, yeah. And we have a secret weapon too. We have Def Leppard sound man mixing us.
Oh shit! So you guys are gonna sound huge.
So so it's not the house guy. It's not like whoever got the shift.
Nice, man. Nice.
Yeah. It sounds monstrous. It's absolutely fantastic.
I can't wait, man. Like I said, we'll be there, and man, I definitely gonna want to hook up with you guys, man, before the show and shake your hand. And Phil, man,
that'd be great. Please come say hi. I really appreciate the support, and it's great talking to you. And I'm really looking forward to the show.
Thank you,
man. The only thing I can say to you, Phil, man, in parting is you've got a brother here, man. I've been a lifetime fan, and now, man, you're talking to you, man. You're a part of my family, brother. If you ever need anything, man, you've got my number. The only mistake you'll make if you're in this area is not reaching out to me, brother.
That's very sweet, Will. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate you and all the years of hard work that you guys have done, man, that have got me to where I'm at too, Phil. You're just a super cool cat, man, and I appreciate it.
It's not work if you're having this much fun.
That's what I tell
You know
people,
what?
but it's
I've
still
said
work,
the
Phil.
Same thing to this man so many times.
It's still work, Phil. You got it. It's the music business, man.
Yeah,
It's
of
work.
course it is. Of course it is. All right, you guys, you take care. I'll see you in a few days.
Hey, man, take care,
Thank
brother.
you.
We'll see you in Kansas City.
Cheers.
Bye. Dude, you did.
What a down-to-earth guy.
How awesome was that for
That was
real?
really cool.
And so for you, Cam, sitting there, you just got a piece of music history blown in your ears with the things that this guy's
He was
done,
dropping some names
and the
too,
people
man.
that he's played with and collaborated with over the years, man. And so for you being a young musician, especially a guitar player, man, I wish that Tracy could have joined and just kind of said something, but I know, here's the thing, dude. This is how deep our roots really run. These guys are literally packing to leave to go on tour tomorrow morning. They're leaving to go on an airplane. So they're last minute rehearsing, last minute packing, exercising, settling up all their affairs for why they're gone, this, that, and
And
everything.
taking the time to talk to us.
And taking the time out of that to talk to us, man.
That's cool.
Puts us ahead of the ball game. You know what? Piss on everybody else. We just had Phil, dude.
Right.
I mean, there's two
enough.
Phils in rock and roll that are complete badasses. Phil Lewis from the LA Guns and Phil Anselmo.
All right.
We've had 50% of those.
Collins from Genesis.
Phil Collins is
Hey, man, he does the drum roll in our intro.
yeah, but Phil Collins is a badass, but
He is a badass.
in the spectrum of what genre of music that we're really touching right now. And you know what? Just for that, dude, I'm gonna throw some Genesis out there tonight.
Land of Confusion.
Yeah,
Land of
you know,
Confusion, right.
and so even as a youngster, he knows it, man, and so that's the cool thing. But what I want people to get excited about is this: not that we just talked to Phil from LA Guns, because I'm on cloud 9 about that,
I can
right?
see that.
But what I want people to get excited about is that these bands are coming back out on tour, man. VH1 and all those guys just put out that Hair Nation tour, man, where it was Enough's Enough, the Bullet Boys, and a bunch of other bands, and that tour did astronomical all across the country.
Yeah, man.
Right now, you got LA Guns coming around on a smaller scale tour, but it's still a tour. And what I love about it the most is that it's more intimate.
I get the feeling when you see LA Guns in concert, they want their crowd to be right there in front of them, to look them right in the eye as they're playing.
I'm telling you, at the Aftershock, you can get so close that you get
And
armpit sweat on your
that's
face.
Really cool.
Ask the Queen; she'll
that's
tell
really
you.
cool. I mean, I sometimes it's just weird how bands seem to elevate themselves above the crowd.
But the Aftershock is set up in such a way that it is intimate and it is personal. And you got Corey, who's a promoter there and is bringing in all these shows, man, doing a fabulous job. Aftershock venue in itself is just absolutely amazing. LA Guns coming around to Kansas City, man. Buy a ticket, come see us there, come hang out with us, man. It's gonna be great. Dottie's gonna be there taking pictures. We'll have them up on the website. It's gonna be badass. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the conversation with Phil, man, because what I really wanted to do, man, is exactly what I feel like we did. I wanted to pick his brain, and I wanted to get inside the mind of the LA Guns and let you guys know where they started, where they went, and where they are now. And if you listen to the new track, Speed, it's they picked up right where they left off, man, and that's a staple to me of a great band that's really true to their roots, man. Like he said, they're not a glam band. They don't have the big smiles and the makeup. They wore leather hats and
They
gloves.
always kind of struck me as one of them underground bands in LA, from LA that just they do good wherever they go.
That snuck up behind everybody and made a shit pot of money and had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and continuing to do so, obviously. I mean,
And it's a staple to all of the talent that was in that band. Phil on vocals,
right?
Tracy Guns.
Man, he was dropping some big names. Ian Gillian, Tame Down. I mean, I recognize those names from growing up.
I'm glad he mentioned his previous bands because I want people to know, where he comes from. Because let's think about this, and I didn't have time to talk to him about this, but I will in person, and I will get it, on a live interview with him. But I really want to ask him. So in the time that he was dropped over here, as he said, just kind of transplanted in the middle of palm trees and women and boobies and American rock from London. But you think about where he was at in the time that he was there, and you think about how different he was there, because it was a big, and it still is. Punk is very big there.
Punk is huge.
So he brought the, realistically speaking, if you've ever seen LA Guns live or watched any of their videos on MTV back when MTV was good, you knew that he brought that attitude to the stage and to the presentation of the music. But it wasn't punk rock. But he still had that attitude. And being from that area, he represented that goddamn well,
if
man.
I had to put a label on it, I'd call it dirty rock. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, just
T-U-R-T-Y, all in
just
capital
straight
letters,
up.
R-A-W-K.
We're the LA Guns, and we're here to kick ass with our instruments and
dirty rock.
Dirty rock.
Coming from the guy who's talking about musical racism. Now we got rock and dirty rock.
Dirty
Let's
rock.
make the
No,
dirty rock up on stage.
If I had to call it something, that's what I would call
make
it.
No,
your
I got you.
yeah. So the LA Guns are coming to town. So lock up your wives. And because you know
Because they can still pull off that
there's a
look.
good chance that they might end up
I
pregnant.
never said I wasn't a racist. So.
Now that we've pissed off everybody, let's get to some rock. He was talking about a track called Sex Action.
That's cool, man.
And I think it's one of my favorite LA Gun songs, and I'm glad because it's a great segue into the next track.
All right.
Let's throw some LA Guns out there, get to some rock. We'll be back, man. I got to recompose myself.
Decompose?
Recompose.
We
I
are
gotta-
on-
I
we are
have
on the
to
board,
adjust.
man. I mean, decompose works better.
I have to adjust, Metal Mike. Shut up. Here we go.